Lacrosse is the fastest game for people to play on their 2 feet. With the speed of the game, the physicality of it, and the mental IQ needed to be successful at it, it has truly grown to be one of my passions over the past couple of years. What a lot of people don't know about lacrosse is that it's actually the oldest sport in North American history. The game was originally played by the Native Americans of the Haudenosaunee tribe and people from the Onondaga Nation. They would play in fields that were miles long, with goals being either trees, rocks, or poles, and they would have 100 to even up to 1,000 people playing on each side. Hey guys, in this part of the video, I'm going to be breaking down the differences in the field size between box lacrosse and field lacrosse. So in field lacrosse, people play on a field that is 110 yards long and on a field that is 60 yards wide. The size of the goal is 6 by 6, so it is a square goal, and the goalie has to use a lot more skill and speed compared to how a goalie would in box lacrosse, since the goal is smaller there. Lacrosse game. There are only 5 players on the field at a certain time, with one goalie. There isn't a transition period where people can run off and have to stay on one side. Everybody can kind of go back and forth from each side. So it focuses a lot more on transition. Another difference between the box game and the field game is that in the box, there's a 4x4 goal, which the goalie takes a lot more time to cover in. And then also in the box game, there's a difference in the equipment, with the box lacrosse players usually using larger elbow pads, heavier chest pads, and then a rib cage. And then everybody uses a shorty instead of using B-poles. So that's basically the differences between the box lacrosse game and field gear. This part of the video, I mainly want to talk about the gear used in the box and field lacrosse games. So to start off, this is more of a field style helmet. It has this kind of visor thing going at the front. It has this really nice shape to it. These Cascade S's are really the most popular helmet in the field game right now, but there are other companies who are starting to make helmets like Warrior and STX, but still the Cascade X is mainly the most popular one. Next up, I have my chest protector. In the field game, I played defense, so I really didn't need a lot of chest protection. The only thing I really needed was this thing right here, so that if I ever got hit in the solar plex, it wouldn't be life-threatening, because there have been cases where people have gotten hit right in the spot in the chest, and they just collapsed and died on the scene. Next up, I want to talk about my elbow pads. So since I played defense, I mainly use really thin elbow pads. You know, they're not very protective. What I liked about them is just that the range of mobility was really high, so I could cradle and all that stuff really well with the deep pull, because it is harder to cradle with the deep pull than it is with the short stick. You know, you don't have as much control as you would with the short stick. Next up, I'm going to talk about my gloves. So these are mainly field gloves, just because they're not that thick. They're protective, but they're not. As a defender, you're not going to be succumb to getting checked as much as you would in the box game. So these are super thin. What I like about these is that they have this flared out cup right here, so that if you put them on, you know, you have this nice range of mobility that other gloves don't give you, because they're more flat and they protect the wrist more. Next up, lastly, in the field game, you're playing outside, you're playing on turf, you're playing on grass, so you need a good pair of cleats. And then box game, you're mainly playing on either concrete or turf. So in box lacrosse, you just need a good pair of tennis shoes. So those are the main differences between gear between the box game and the field lacrosse game.